Hey, welcome to another video. So today we're going to be going into the GOA'ULD Mars. But before I begin, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, let's jump straight into it. Mars, also known as Phobos, was a GOA'ULD who served under his father, Ares, during the time of Michello's rebellion on the planet Dendrid. He later went on to take his father's place as Mars, the Roman god of war. Mars is the creator of the cyborgs, a species enhanced Markos. The offspring of Ares, Phobos once served under his father during Michello's rebellion. Agents of Michello, having swapped bodies with some of Phobos' Jaffa through Michello's body switching device, gained access to the Hatak owned by Phobos. They proceeded to sabotage the transportation rings on board, causing the beams they emitted to disintegrate any matter in their path rather than simply creating an energy stream, which passed harmlessly between sets of rings, and let them be for some time. However, at a prearranged time, these agents activated their trap, which cut right through the ship and destroyed it in a fiery explosion. They had done the same to the Hatak operated by Phobos' brother, Deimos. Through this, they thought that they had killed both of Ares' sons, as well as losing him two of his precious Hataks. They were wrong, however, as both of Ares' offspring somehow managed to survive the traps, and Phobos went on to become a system lord in his own right. Sometime after this, Phobos sought to usurp his father and replace him as the Greek god of war on Earth. Ares managed to crush his uprising, particularly due to Mars' brother betraying him, and so Phobos fled to the Romans, where he assumed the identity of his father, becoming Mars. The Romans worshipped him for a time before he was betrayed by some of his own, who returned him to Greece to face Ares' wrath. Ares managed to crush Mars' spirit, who ended up begging for his life, and soon sent him through the Stargate to the traitorous graveyard world of Kartek. The entire event was recorded on a Vokar as a warning to others who would oppose Ares. It was on Kartek that he was discovered the Volca, a species in which GOA'ULD symbiotes could not survive, along with creatures known as Markok. Because of the lack of sustainable humanoid host bodies, Mars instead chose to build a cyborg body with a Markok as its biological component. Mars would enter the creature and assume control of the cyborg body. It was through this method that Mars managed to rebuild his civilization, basing it on that of the Roman Empire. His Jaffa's symbiotes were put into further cyborg bodies in order to continue serving Mars. In 1998, SG1 found the Vokar on another world where it was guarded by Apophyse's Serpent Guard, and thinking that Mars would be long dead, chose to journey to Kartek, where they had named TC9173. They first sent a Malp to scout ahead, and as soon as they saw a Volca on camera, witnessing their unique biological ability to phase through solid objects. What they did not notice was Mars Jaffa discovering the Volca and uncovering the Chappa Eye, which had been lost to them for centuries. Once SG1 stepped through themselves, they were met by the Jaffa of Mars, who captured all but Daniel Jackson, Daniel being saved by Etathi and brought them before Mars. Mars was pleased to see the Tari once more kneel before him, especially so soon after the lost Chappa Eye had been found, and was curious if Teal'c was acting as a representative of Apophis, seeking an alliance against Ares. Upon hearing that the group served a Republican term, he assumed that Ares had fallen to his advisors. He then planned to take Jack O'Neill as his new host in order to enact his vengeance through Aurelius, a member of his own Senate, thought that the decision should be discussed in the Senate properly. It was at this point that SG1 chose to attack, stealing staff weapons from Mars' Jaffa and firing them on his former holders. They did not succeed, however, and only managed to wound Mars' first prime, Augustus, before their attack was brought to a halt. This act of violence earned Teal'c a place in the pits, and Aurelius was sent with him for his defiance of Mars' will. During this time, Daniel had been taken to Ulysses, who he found to be another GOA'ULD, by Ethi to seek his help. Ulysses presented him with a phase-shifting device, less powerful than that of the Tolan, but would not help himself. Back in the arena, Teal'c managed to best two of the legends who had been sent to fight him, the Minotaur and Medusa, but was bested in combat by the third, the Hydra. He would have been killed as Mars ordered his death by lowering his thumb, but was saved due to the Jaffa and the Senate rebelling against their god and attacking the Hydra before it could finish Teal'c. This angered Mars, and he issued death warrants for every member of the Senate, as well as ordering his Jaffa to hunt down Teal'c and his rescuers so he could rip their larvae out with his bare hands. At the same time, he started the preparations to transfer himself from the cyborg body into that of one of the Tauri. His Jaffa soon found the traitors, killing Julian and taking the others as prisoners to face Mars's wrath. Mars chose to allow them to watch him take his new host in O'Neill before they were killed themselves. This act would have been completed if not for the timely arrival of Jackson, Etathi, and other Volca. Arriving through the very walls of the building, the group dragged Jaffa backwards into said walls before letting them go. The Jaffa died instantly by coming back into phase inside solid objects. O'Neill took this moment to attack Mars with an energy sword, but the attack was for naught, as Mars raised an energy shield from his Karakesh, instead repulsing O'Neill with one of the device's other functions. Although both Teal'c and Samantha Carter attempted to assault him physically, it was the actions of Etathi that stopped Mars. He simply phased his hand into the creature inside Mars's chest and ripped a hole into it. This was thought to have killed Mars, but this was not true. When his first prime arrived with Patrician, they removed the gold symbiote from Mars's former host and put it into the Marquek inside Patrician. Mars lived once more, informing his prime that there was much to do. So what did you guys think of the gold Mars? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.